prices are a bit lower today. The long-term prospect, not good. Let's find out why from CNN Money's Poppy Harlow, who is at our new energy desk in New York. Poppy, good morning.
Good morning, Tony. Well, we kicked this off yesterday. We hope it's going to help all of you out there. Today, we're talking about oil. This is really all just about supply and demand. We know that OPEC and the other major producers of oil are near their output capacity, so there's not likely going to be a lot more oil to hit the market. That's why rising demand is such a big issue. Now, the problem is not so much here in the U.S., but the slowing economy and the soaring price of energy has really limited growth here, but that is not the story overseas. We've reported on this many times before. We're seeing rising demand from China and India as their economies continue to boom, and now the biggest producers of oil are also becoming the biggest consumers of it, too. That is what's key. The Wall Street Journal today reports that the top producers in the Mideast, we're talking about Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Iran, Kuwait, Iraq, and Qatar, are significantly boosting their international, or rather internal usage of oil and natural gas, leaving a lot less for export to us and, Tony, to the rest of the world.
Well, yeah, I think you're right. And maybe you can drill down, I'm sorry, pardon me, drill down on the significance of this development.
Yeah, obviously this isn't something that happened overnight. You didn't open up the Journal and find out about it for the first time this morning, but it has developed pretty quickly, and unlike the growth in China and India, it comes as a surprise. Now, the Wall Street Journal says that since 2004, the Saudis have increased their domestic consumption by 23%. Now, the Energy Department says those 6 Mideast producers that I mentioned before are using an additional 318,000 barrels of oil per day, meaning that all of that and more is not available for them to export. So even though their production has remained about the same or gone up, their export has fallen by about 2.5%.
Yeah.
That's what we saw last year.
Poppy, it sounds like the bottom line on this is it's not good news necessarily for us.
Yeah, it's not great news for us, especially if you have a car, you're trying to fill up gas, heat your home, those kind of things. Tighter supplies are almost certainly going to lead to higher prices. Now, right now, crude oil futures are trading just around $129 a barrel on the NYMEX. That's a little bit off that record we saw last week when we were near $135 a barrel, but it's more than double the price compared to just a year ago. And a lot of analysts out there really say we're not going to see that price fall. Goldman Sachs recently forecast crude could climb to $200 a barrel by the end of next year, and that certainly will mean soaring gas prices for us.
Absolutely. Wow, it's working out, huh? The new energy desk there in New York, and Poppy Harlow. Poppy, great to see you. Thanks.
Thanks.
Gas less than $1.25 a gallon. It seems quaintly nostalgic now, but that price seemed outrageous just several years ago. It may be hard to believe, so see for yourself. That's Troy from Molly Reuter of CNN's Texas affiliate KLTV.
Signs like these are more than a thing of the past. It's a memory for some that's hard to even remember. Welcome to the summer of 1998, where yes, gas was under $1. Now fast forward 1 year, and at $1.17, your pain at the pump begins.
My money's short. The other car we're going to be driving takes about $30 almost to fill it up.
Wouldn't that be nice now? Gas just went up from there, hitting $1.40 in 2000 and then $1.50 in 2001.
It looked like I was going to have to swing a bank loan to fill up.
But like the saying goes, what goes up must come down, right? In November of 2001, gas dropped back down to just 90 cents.
I think it's about time. I think we've been robbed long enough.
Well, the oil industry didn't think so. In 2002, gas was back to around $1.30. Causing some of you to start thinking of ways to cut back.
If it gets up above $1.25, up around $1.30, so forth, yeah, we'll curtail our traveling. Absolutely, we'll have to.
What do you wish the gas prices were at?
10 cents a gallon. Who wouldn't wish for that?
In 2003, the term gas war became popular as gas stations competed for the lowest price. But that quickly disappeared as gas prices rose to the $2 mark a year later. And then, in the summer of 2005, Hurricane Katrina hit.
They need to lower the gas prices. They definitely need to get lower. $2.99 is just ridiculous. It's too high right now.
I'm wondering how high it's going to go. How the working man's going to be able to afford to even go to work.
Some of you did anything you could for a few extra bucks, like pawn your favorite pieces of jewelry.
It's an item to me, and I've got to have the gas money.
Or downsize your vehicle, maybe even buy a hybrid.
It was $70 to fill up my truck, and that kind of made me think,
maybe I need to look around for something else.
In the beginning of 2007, East Texas saw some relief at the pump with prices dropping to under $2 a gallon. But we all know that didn't last long.
It's bad. I can't believe it.
Gas isn't exactly what I want to be spending my money on all the time.
But for many of us, we are. With gas almost $1 more now than a year ago, words like these.
It's unreal.
Outrageous.
Will not be going away anytime soon.
So how high will it go? Well, buckle up. Some economists say in the next couple of years, gas prices in the U.S. could more than double. That would make it about $10 a gallon.
Boy, it really is issue number one, and we're using all of our platforms to try to get at this topic. Issue number one, the economy and all the issues impacting you and your finances. Ali Velshi and Jerry Willis obviously leading our money team, and Ali is on CNN Radio. Am I right about this? He's on CNN Radio right now with the special program. It's not just the gas. Can we listen in for just a moment? Ali is taking calls.
Is it practical? In a city like Houston, it is. In cities, it's practical. Are plug-in hybrids going to replace the long hauling that Americans like to do who live 35 or 50 miles from their house? How effective is this for somebody who isn't all that dedicated? Can we have the infrastructure to plug in cars all over the place?
Well, that's the thing. We don't need the infrastructure. Plug-in hybrids plug in at your house.
Right.
You should already have plugs at your house.
Right.
Okay, and then you drive to downtown, use about half the energy, or to wherever you work, and then you come home, and then you plug in again. And
so do I need it at work as well, or I could just do this, like, it'll go for a day?
It'll go for a day. You don't need to plug in at work. However, I do. I live 30 miles from downtown.
Right.
I plug in at work as well, and I have a 30-mile range in my car. We're able to make ranges much further than that in cars.
Now, does anybody sell these? Do you have to make your own? Because I can't make anything. I can't close an envelope.
I make them for people, but the first thing I tell them is plug-in cars are not for everyone.
Right.
Right now, the best guesstimate I can see on a do-it-yourself is that gas has to be $4.50.
There you go. Just wanted to give you a little bit of the flavor of the show that's on CNN Radio right now. You just go to CNN.com and you can find CNN Radio. Ali Velshi taking calls and talking about alternative energy sources right now. And you can phone in a question, 1-877-266-4189. You need to hurry. The show goes for an hour from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. Eastern time. And then he's got to get ready for his big show, issue number one, the economy, right here on CNN at noon Eastern. Gas prices, they reach into your wallet and rob your family's budget for bucks. What's next? That's the question everyone's asking, and it is the title of our weekend special, America's Fuel Nightmare, Saturday and Sunday night, 8 Eastern, here on CNN.
Quickly now, I want to take you to Miami and show you a shot of what is going on here. 200